Yo guys, what's going on? Got some more Battle of Omega or Battle of Omni BT5 gameplay for you guys. This is going to be featuring a very fun deck, a very interesting deck, and one that I think a lot of people are looking forward to. That is Hexeblaumon, blue, or just, you know, basically you're trying to get your Hexeblaumon out, prevent your opponent's Digimon from attacking and from blocking, and just control the board by constantly trashing their Digivolution materials, and then gaining advantage with things like the new Sora and Joe combination tamer, as well as just clearing their board with stuff like Absolute Blast, which is one of the new option cards coming out of BT5. So I am playing against another really cool deck. This is a purple variant focused around both Mega Gargamon. What's his name? Chaos Gallantmon and Megidramon. So a very explosive purple deck, very offensive, and can resurrect Digimon from the trash. Megidramon floats into a Gallantmon card from either your trash or your hand. So really cool effects here. My opponent was able to, set up his Tapermon and get a Labramon off, and now he's going into the Black Growlmon. Black Growlmon is a sweet card where whenever one of your opponents, or one of your other Digimon, is deleted, you get to just gain security attack +1 for the turn. So if you're using something like Chaos Gallantmon, where his effect is you can delete one of your other Digimon to destroy one of your opponent's level 5 or lower, so basically Chimeramon on Digivolve, and then if you are able to, resolve that, he gets security attack +1, and then you got things like War Growlmon, which can, delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend him. That's his inherited effect. So if you got, all those inherited effects underneath the Chaos Gallantmon, he can attack multiple times, check multiple security cards, so it can be really cool. Plus, he can resurrect Digimon from the trash. Now, my opponent is going to go Megidramon. Megidramon is awesome because, first of all, he works really well with the purple strategy. He gets cards in the trash very quickly. Whenever he's Digivolve, you get to just top the trash the top 5 cards of both players' decks, which can kind of screw over like other decks. Like you'll see, for me, it kind of got rid of a couple ultimates and like some other stuff that I could have used, but for him it gets to set up his trash. And now the only stipulation for Megidramon is that you do need to have a tamer in play to resolve his on deletion effect, which is, I think that's like a reference to like Takato and how he like became Megidramon, like how he forced Guillaumon to Digivolve to Megidramon, then they became Gallantmon, and whatever. So I think that's a cool reference, but it is kind of a setback. So unfortunately my opponent doesn't have the tamer, so if I do get rid of his Megidramon before he can set up either a mat or he could be playing like I think he's playing Takumi actually, and some other tamers, maybe he was playing those, he can get those set up and get that Megidramon effect off. Now he is actually going to Deathclaw here, which is an interesting card. So the 1-cost option for purple that allows you to, it's like a mini Heat Viper. You blow up one of yours to get rid of a level 4 or lower on your opponent's side, which is pretty sweet for only a 1-cost. Like I think that is very solid, especially when you're using it with Tapermon like he did, and then you can get advantage off it. Maybe if you use it with Antmon or something, you can trash some cards. But I do have the Hexeblaumon out. Hexeblaumon is a very, very powerful card once you get him set up. The only problem is that this deck is very reliant on him, and if you don't get Hexeblaumon out, you're just kind of like shit out of luck. It doesn't really have any other options aside from like trying to get him off, because you can trash all of your opponent's Digivolution materials, like their sources, but if you don't have Hexablue out, you can't really capitalize on it. So I do have him out. Now he has the effect where if your opponent has Digimon without sources, like those Digimon cannot attack or block. So they can't attack like either Digimon or security, and they can't block. Not only that, but he does also have jamming. Like whenever he attacks, he can trash 2 of the sources from one of your opponent's Digimon. He gets jamming. And then also some of the other cards, like I think it's like a Pale Chrysaldrimon or something, the ultimate form in his evolution line, where it gives a security attack +1, basically that Wargurumon effect. I love Zudomon. If you guys have watched me for a while, I love BT1 Zudomon. So I do, if he did have a Digimon without materials, you actually gain a memory every single time you attack. And then not only that, you're gaining memory from the Zudomon, you're also gaining memory from stuff like Joe. If your opponent doesn't have a Digimon that has source, like if they have something without sources, you get 2 memory from that every single turn. Gomamon and Blucomon, I believe, is the new one, where whenever your Digimon, wherever your opponent's Digimon sources is trashed, you just get to gain a memory. So lots of ability to gain memory here. If you're playing Vulcan's Hammer, that's another one, right? You can just play so many memory cards. So I don't feel it's necessary to play like memory tamers. Like Davis would be a good one just to up the consistency of the deck. I think BT1 mat, the one where the blue mat where you get to rest it anytime you play blue Digimon and then you just get to like trash material, that one would be a pretty good option just to like crash more. But I felt like you didn't need it just because you have like Sora Joe is just so powerful, especially if you start getting multiples of them. It can be super strong. My opponent does have the Tai and Matt dual tamer on his side of the field, which gives all Omnimons security attack +1, and not only that, if I control a 6 or higher, which I do, and most decks will try to get to 6 or higher. Digimon is like their boss monsters. You just gain 2 memory, so it can punish you for playing like aggressively. Now he is going to go War Growlmon, but the thing is I can get rid of his sources so easily. So, like, he's going to Digiburst here, which is fine. War Growlmon has the Digiburst where you can, trash 3 and bring back a rookie. Every time I attack, Hexeblaumon is going to take out 2 sources. Sora Joe is going to take out another 2 sources. I'm going to gain a memory from the Zudomon, and if I Digivolve on top of the Gomon or something, I could gain another memory from that. If I choose to attack with that, I could draw a card. I'm also playing Upamon. Bukamon is the newer blue Digitama, which is pretty sweet. It's basically like you trash from a level 4 or lower Digimon. I do like Upamon though, because you already have so many other ways to like trash Digivolution sources. I think being able to draw from Upamon and capitalize off of your opponent not having a Digimon with sources is just really sweet. So my opponent is going to go Beelzemon and get rid of that Gomamon there, but all I need to do is just get rid of his sources underneath the Beelzemon, and then he'll be rendered unable to attack, and I can just take my sweet time getting rid of him. Now, Purple does have a lot of removal cards, right? He could play Hell's Gate or Trump Sword me. Well, maybe not Trump Sword because like I'm usually attacking, but anyways, like they do have a lot of removal to like get rid of Hexablue. So I think Purple is actually like one of the harder matchups for like the Hexablue deck. So I'm just going to attack and then trash his material underneath the Beelzemon. I get jamming, and then I'm going to gain a memory from the Zudomon. So I am currently at 5. I do have Absolute Blast also, which is basic. It's a really great option card. First of all, you get to just trash a material under any Digimon, and then if your opponent has a Digimon without sources, you get to spin that back to the bottom of the deck. So that's a very, very powerful form of the removal. I think it's probably like the best, because you have destruct, like deletion, like Terraforce and stuff. You have Terra Cluster, you have Cocytus Breath, which returns to the hand, but bottom of the deck is like very, very hard to recover from, like especially because it gets around a lot of like when deleted effects or on deletion effects, whatever. So I'm just going to use that, and only for 6 cost 2 is pretty sweet, getting rid of a Mega. I'm going to use that to get rid of his Beelzemon, putting him at 8 because he does actually gain the 2 from the Tai and Matt. So Tai and Matt proving to be a very, very powerful card. My opponent is going to go Beelzemon again, which I thought was a little bit weird, especially because he's not going to be able to get off his effect, but maybe he's just trying to build up into an Omnimon Zwart or a Millenniumon or something, and he will be able to attack, like, currently, and that's the thing, that's how you have to, like, counter Hexablue, is, like, build up really quickly, so, like, you can get rid of the Hexablue, because otherwise, like, if you wait a turn, like, I'm just gonna trash all your materials, and then you can't attack or, like, do anything. So yeah, he's going to go Beelzemon, and I think he's going to go Gabumon, but decided not to. Now, my hand is, like, pretty big. It's a little bit awkward, though, because if he gets rid of the Zudomon, I don't actually have any ways to, like, go into another Hexablue, go into the Reclusimon, so he is actually going to go into Omnimon Zwart like I thought he was. Omnimon Zwart is a super powerful card. You get to trash the top 3 cards of your deck, which is, of course, always good for purple, and then you get to revive 2, or is it up to 2? Yeah, up to 2 black or purple a Digimon with an 8 play cost or less. So that encompasses a lot of ultimates. He's actually going to get Chimeramon and Tapermon for free. Like, you can play them at 0 cost, and they do get, like, their 1 plate effect. So Chimeramon's going to then activate, deleting the Tapermon, killing my Zudamon, drawing him a card, and all of that just for 6 memory, getting a level 7 on the field, as well as getting rid of one of my ultimates. So super strong. And not only that, Omnimon Zord does have a solid 1 attacking effect, where I think you get to like return one of his 6 material, like level 6 materials, and then destroy something with a play cost of 12 or less, which is Hexeblaumon, but he does need to attack to do that, so I think I can just like get rid of his materials, and we won't have to deal with that. I am going to go into the Crisp Paildramon, and then it is able to trash 1 Digivolution material from every single one of your opponent's Digimon, which is pretty sweet. He does only have 1 like that applies to, but I'm going to do that anyways. And then I'm going to attack with Hexablue, use its effect, trash the Beelzemon, gain a memory from the Zudamon. It gets jamming, so I don't actually die to that Beelzemon. And I'm still in a very good position because now he's got 2 very powerful Digimon on the field, but still like no way to get rid of the Hexabluemon. I do also have a blocker in case I wanted to do that, but I think the best course of action here, now Absolute Blast might be better to just go for on Chimeramon, but since I do have the Garurumon, who essentially is getting rid of him anyways, I'm going to be able to use this effect, trash 2, or it might be Digiburst 3 maybe, or no, it's 2, Okay, so I'm going to be able to trash 2 cards, Digiburst 2, and then return one of his ultimates, level 5s or lower, to his hand, return the Chimeramon his hand. I don't care if he plays it again, I don't have any susceptible Digimon on my side of the field, and then I'm going to, unfortunately didn't get to gain a memory from that, because like it already didn't have materials, but then I will be able to get security attack +1 from the Crisp Paildramon. Now he is going to Hell's Gate me, my Hexablue, which is very smart. You just have to get rid of that guy, otherwise he can't attack, he can't like do anything. But I do have another Hexablue, unfortunately no ultimates, like I said, starting my turn with 5 memory, because I do have the Sora Joe as well. I could attack, so I'm going to attack with the Garurumon, so I'm going to be able to trash the Tapermon sources, gain a memory from that, and then I'm going to get security attack +1 with the Garurumon. So Megidramon, unfortunately, is only 11,000. I'm going to run into the Omnimon Zord, which is unfortunate, but Garurumon did his work. He got rid of the Chimeramon, took out 2 security cards. I can't really complain with that. So now I'm just trying to dig for another ultimate, and just be able to maybe go into Hexablue, but really I can just put pressure on my opponent, because purple doesn't have anything really that has like rush, so I don't think I have to worry about just like dying here. So I think once I put a couple of Digimon on the field, I should be good. Unless he like Heat Vipers me or something, which that could happen. But anyways, I'm just going to play the Gabumon, draw a card, and then Absolute Blast Omnimon's Ward away. Now, okay, he actually did put in the trash. It's supposed to go in the bottom of the deck, by the way. But it might have been better to go Grizzlymon and then Absolute Blast, but then I would have risked him starting with 6, and then if he could somehow get like, he could have, I don't know, like gone Chimeramon or something. But anyways, it might have been better to do that. You guys can decide. But anyways, he's going to go the Devimon. Yeah, Devimon over the Tapermon, I believe. And then hard play the Gabumon, putting him back at 3. So he does have 3 Digimon in play, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about it. So he is going to Deathclaw me. Again, a pretty solid option card for only a 1 cost, being able to get rid of the Gabumon, which is like not too, like that's kind of sucks, but I mean he had to, otherwise he would just lose. So he does have 1 blocker. I got the Gorillamon on field, but I do, you guys will see in a second. So I'm going to attack. Gorillamon is 6,000. So he is going to die. Like, he's going to block and die. Unfortunately, no. I think I could have... Did I get a memory from trashing his material? I think I didn't, but I could have. Yeah, because I could have trashed it while attacking and then gained a memory from the Gomon. And I'm just going to hard play the Gabumon, draw 1, leaving my opponent with 1 memory, not going to gain anything from the Tai and Matt because I don't have any level 6s. So even though my hand is like a bit awkward, I finally did get the ultimate. So in case something happens, I could probably go like Crisp Paildramon and then maybe Hexablue again. He's going to Deathclaw me for like the 20th time. So he's going to get rid of the Gorillamon, draw a card off the Tapermon. It did only cost 1 Digimon. So if we see a blocker here, he could survive until the next turn because unfortunately don't really have anything to deal with that. Just got one Gabumon on the field. So it's coming down to the wire. I do have 3 security, so I'm not too afraid, but I really just want to like get this over with. I just need one attack to go through so that I can win this. But he does go Devimon. Hard plays the Devimon. I do get 6 memory. But, you know, he had to. So he had no choice. Now, I have the ultimate out. I got a crazy lucky top deck. If you guys saw, I did draw the mock Galgamon there, who conveniently has a very good Digiburst effect for this exact situation. When you're trying to go for game, or your opponent just has a pesky blocker, I can just Digivolve up into Mega mock Galgamon, detach 2 materials for his Digiburst, return my opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to the hand. So bye-bye Devimon, and then I'm just going to be able to swing for game. So guys, that is going to be the game. If you did enjoy, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.